How's it going, everybody? As promised, we will continue with our brief recaps of the Dominion series. Again, sorry, this will only cover the EU qualifier this week. Probably once we move on to the close qualifiers with less teams, the individual tournaments will not last for 7 to 8 hours, so I can then probably start to cover both regions. Nevertheless, there are a few things to talk about. The qualifying teams this time are Working Relationship Inc. in Europe, consisting of Setmix, Legion, Danko, Hiren and Fish. And for NA we have Uwu Gang, consisting of Thrillnu, Mamba, Sai and Toaster. Neither team is exactly a surprise, both were expected to qualify. What is something interesting though for NA, that is, that the second place team were players that recently came over from consoles. So even if it's regrettable that the tourney is only held on PC this time, there you have your team to root for if you are a console player. It wouldn't be all that surprising if we see TPAS qualify next week. But back to Europe and the matches that I actually fully watched. First of all, I did complain about seeding in week 1, or rather the lack thereof. This has been fixed and the placements from the previous week were taken into account, which ultimately lead to Seed 1 and Seed 2 to face off in the winners finals. This is obviously the desired outcome when it comes to seeding. So, great job there, whoever put that forward. Spaniard. Let's hope this trend continues. Same as last week, I do have a guest to give insight on some plays, but I'll do some of that myself first. One thing I want to mention is that since feats received some changes, a lot of the previously banned ones are now allowed again, which includes traps, so we do see them being used again. So I want to highlight this trap placement from Rod, which at first seems to be quite random, but most of us try to simply place them in spots where people are run by to get to certain locations, like stairs or directly on ladders and stuff like that. This is completely different here. Rod's job here is to 1v1 the person that will come to try and contest the point. He knows that fights in that area tend to move towards the corners, but the placement isn't revealed because of where the opponent came from. I think this is definitely worth mentioning as a creative way to utilize the bear trap in a not immediately obvious manner. Next topic is about the boost all game tactic that I've ranted about before. There was a perfect example game that highlighted how this tactic backfires if you face people that know what they're doing. This was a match on Overwatch. The C point is the more important point as it gives a faster rotation towards mid, which, as you all know, gives a shit ton of points, especially when the opponent decides to boost the other point. Check the video that pops up if you're unfamiliar with this interaction. I'll give you this sped up scoreboard. As you can see, the A point, the point you usually don't treat as a priority, is boosted, and the rest of the map is being left to be handled by 3 players that now have to face 4 opponents. Once points are even, the A point is contested, which now leads to the attackers gaining a significant point lead. Nature winning the fight on A basically seals the deal right there. Letting this whole game play out and simply looking at the team score, you'd think that this was a somewhat even game, with it snowballing off one fight and one team being triple capped. But then you look at the actual scoreboard and you realize that all these points simply came from boosting a single point, the one boosting being the highest scoring member of the team, and the other 3 constantly being outnumbered and killed because of it. Like I said last time, I don't mean to shame anyone, but this was just too good an example to highlight this tactic. Yes, it might work if your players are just flat out better than your opponents, or if someone constantly tries to take 1 point away from you. But in this match, they waited to gain complete control of the map first, and then waited until 2 opponents were dead to move on to contest the A point. This wasn't done randomly, but with proper oversight of how this would play out. The score is deceiving, but in reality, this wasn't a close match at all. But let's get to our guest today. Setmix has offered to share some insight on their plays. Alright, so Setmix here. We're gonna quickly talk about their split at the beginning of matches, because they like to do a 1-3 split and abandon 1 point at the beginning.
Yeah, okay, so usually when you play the minion game, the default strategies people normally use is they usually send 2 people to C and 2 people to B, or 1 to B and 1 to A. In this case, I think they're sending 1 to A, 1 to B, and 2 to C. With my team, we tried different strategies. Among those is sending 3 to C. We're just trying to maintain a numbers advantage here. We're trying to quickly get a gank on the guy and this way gain the map control by just outnumbering them on the rest of the map. It's one of the many strategies we tried. We're not sure if it's actually optimal or if it's actually the way we should play. So we might change it up in the near future, but it's definitely one that we had some success with.
Yeah. And there the game fucks you over.
Yeah, and there the game just fucks us over. I could potentially have gotten a heavy there, but I wasn't sure. Here that was just unlucky, but luckily he dashes my light, which just guarantees my bash.
But yeah, I think, yeah, but you got the C point early.
Yeah, we got the C point early on. We didn't get the numbers advantage that we really wanted, because on B now we just have one guy low. One guy actually died, and so it's just even numbers for the most part. I think he's going to get outnumbered at this point. So we didn't really get where we wanted to get, but the initial fight did still go in our favor. We do have a renowned lead, I believe, actually. So it wasn't a bad opening.
Yeah. All right, we have another example. I'm going to ask another question then. Hang on. Okay, we just had a little setback, but all right. So, same again. You're going to send 3 people here. And I initially thought it would be, one of the reasons was because you need to capture the point much quicker, the more important one, which is C on this map.
Yeah, we're just trying to focus the majority of our players on the most important point. In this case, it's C, because rotation from C to B is really fast. So the second you control C, you can practically heal for free at all times, clear minions and go back to heal all the times, which makes it really hard for the opponents to get control of B. So C essentially gives you 2 points, which means you get the point lead and therefore will win the game over time.
Yeah, and here comes the guy from the A point, so it is a 3v3.
Yeah, but by the time he arrives, we already have the health lead. 2 of his teammates are already low, 1 dies here, the second follows, and so he's just left in a gank and is gonna soon follow them. Fucked up our gank here, that usually shouldn't happen, but we'll get better at that with practice.
Yeah, straight up, you got the point really quickly. Wait.
Yeah.
Did he die there?
I'm not entirely sure what happened there.
Hold on. How did you capture the point? Because it was not off point, right?
Yeah.
I never noticed that. What the fuck?
I never noticed that either. I have no idea what happened.
It seems like he dies there, the shaman.
Yeah.
Oh no, he gets pushed out of the map. Yeah, I never noticed. Look,
I didn't notice either.
Out of the map.
I never noticed.
Oh, alright, perfect thing. Perfect example here.
For honors, great game.
Great game, yeah. Alright, let's leave it at that. Alright, so when we watched this, we immediately thought Setmix does not want to go to the losers bracket this time. And let's just watch him, because he puts in some work here, like for the next 2 minutes or so.
It's actually true. I even said on my own stream that I didn't want to go to losers bracket, because the last tournament we played in, we did go to losers bracket and we had to play so many games to get back to grand finals. It was really annoying.
But yeah, you're going to win this fight here now, and then you're going to contest the C point. And you don't just stall, you flat out kill them there in outcome. But yeah, that's just gonna let it run and people can see for themselves then.
Probably gonna baited the flip there. Yeah, right now it's a really good time to actually backcap, because one of their players is low, so he's gonna have a really hard time doing anything here. And if you look at the top, you can actually see that 2 of their players are low. So wherever they go, they'd be in a struggle right now.
And this is gonna be flip after flip after flip here.
Yeah, all of those were on reaction. And there he gets mixed up. Used a bad execution there. I should have used a much shorter execution.
I mean, it was worth the effort. worth
Yeah, it
a
was.
try, because I mean, keeping track of exactly the death timers and whether they actually come to the point.
Yeah, here we
is
also made a
little hard. I
mistake.
mean, you have a short window in where
Yeah,
you can decide which execution to take. But
yeah,
good
pretty
revenge
much.
there.
That was a weird sequence because we could have killed him without even giving him revenge if Danko had chained for his second heavy. But he decided to forward dash, so he just dies anyway.
But yeah, they're baiting the
You-
flips, but they
Yeah,
That's
if I'm in a situation like this, I can just flip freely because they can't really punish me for it because my teammate will just compensate all the time. And if I do get the flip, then the fight is basically over because we just got a kill.
But yeah, just look at the point lead already. Even if they
Yeah.
got the point back now, they're in big trouble there. Even if they get the home point, because they have to use, 3 people.
Yeah,
to even get
I
it
mean, at this
back.
point, we could even play for just our home point and B point without ever backcapping anymore, and we would still win the game.
Yeah. But yeah, and you did win that. But yeah,
Yeah.
all right. Well, that's it for this. All right, next clip is about all the Shinobi players complaining non-stop because there was a Shinobi in the team that placed second, and here was one of their openings.
Yeah, Shinobi's quite a special character. In a way, because he makes team fights or 2v2s at the start really awkward. Because normally Danko and I want to play close to each other, but if we do that, then Shinobi can just range attack us as he does here. And we can't really peel him off, we can't really deal damage to him, we can't really approach him either, because if we try to approach him, we just get kicked like the way I just got. So I just went back to the Warlord and tried to counter pressure to Warlord. But that didn't really work in our favor either, because the Shinobi would just counter pressure Danko and got him low that way. So the way you really have to play against Shinobi is really strange and really hard to pull off too, because you have to pressure him down in order for him to stop to use his ranged attacks. But neither of our characters is capable of doing so, so we ordered Legion to come in. And as you can see, as soon as Legion came in, the fight turns in our favor.
Yeah. As you saw, he was basically full HP until Legion came in.
Yeah.
But yeah. But this was one of the examples as well, because that fight just takes fucking forever on this point. I think it takes until minute 4 or something until this point actually gets captured.
Yeah.
It's a really
That's all
long
due to
fight,
Shinobi.
Yeah. I mean, he's dead now, but I mean, he'll come back. But
Yeah.
you got both of the points there, and I mean, it's fine for you to keep playing for
but I
this one
mean,
here.
he was the last guy to die of his team, and by the time he respawns and gets back there, he surely still has a teammate alive and can still prevail and stall for a little longer.
Yeah. All right. We're not gonna watch the whole thing because like I said, it drags out. But yeah.
Yeah.
Setmix, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
This. Yeah. Right. Good luck for in the. I don't even know when are these. What are they calling them? Like closed qualifiers or something?
Yeah, I think they're called closed qualifiers, but I'm not sure when they start.
Yeah. It'll be another 4 weeks minimum, I guess. All right.
Yeah.
Then, I'm gonna call it that. Thank you very
All
much.
right. Thank you for having me.
Whatever you want. Alright, I hope this was helpful and you guys learned something. This time there's no long break between the qualifiers. So our next one is tomorrow, aka this Saturday already. I will once again leave links to all relevant sites in the video description down below. To all participating or just watching, I hope you all enjoy it. More on this next week with the next recap. Thanks for watching. Laters everybody.